your laptop. This is not starting.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai. It is there, man. It is there.
Internet, mobile data is working, Swamiji. Internet is working. Her laptop has got stuck up. So she's going to bring your laptop.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Now it is coming. Okay. Not clear.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji.
Today is a special day for us because, Pujya Swami Sadhyoja Shankarashram Swamiji of Shirali Mutt, he reached here by about 10 o'clock in the morning and just now left, half an hour back. So we had a satsang. His last visit was in 2019. So we had a good time. That was. So that is why we were a bit late to see Swamiji off and then come here. Aja, what should be shared today? Yesterday, Sri Krishna ji was asking about Pujya Swamiji's. On the 50th dedication of his life to ashram, that is 1999, devotees proposed to bring about a souvenir. And then so many people were telling so many things about Swamiji's Purvashram life, his joining, his taking sannyas, all those things. So we decided to have an interview with Swamiji, and at that time we tried to gather as much information as possible about how God arranged everything for him to dedicate his entire life to Papa Mataji's divine service. So at that time he revealed to us that right from his young age, he was doing very well in his matriculation studies, and he had an ardent desire to go for higher studies. You lost your network.
Hotspot you can put. Rama. That is come and go.
Matriculation studies, and he had an ardent desire to go for higher studies. Lost your network. But it so happened
24/7 कस्टमर सपोर्ट के लिए हाजिर है आपकी खातिर. कडे सर्वजण सिंधूच्या बर्थडेची तयारी.
Somebody's house is TV or something. Jayanti ma, kindly switch. Audio should be off. Yes.
But somehow God willed that he couldn't go ahead with the higher education. He was terribly disappointed. And then he went to Cochin. He was in Palghat. And from there he went to Cochin for his typewriting shorthand and accountancy course. He was telling us that he started feeling that the life has no purpose. He was seeing the hollowness of life. Everybody is thinking about only me and mine, which he couldn't go along with that theme. And when his uncle, father's brother, who was working in a European firm in Coimbatore, when he came to know, he called him back to Coimbatore, and the uncle told his boss that he would take 3 months leave, and in his place his nephew would work. And the European boss was so considerate, he said okay. So Swamiji from Cochin, he came to Coimbatore, and then he was working in that company. Wherever he worked, everything, meticulous and perfection oriented. At that time, there was an advertisement for recruiting people for the Defense Department. There was Second World War had started. So he enlisted. He also applied and he got enlisted. He was telling us that he would at least lose himself by joining the military. So he was selected and went to Pune, Kirki for the initial training. And then, even then, these thoughts were troubling him. What is the purpose of this life? 3-4 years he served in the Defense Department. During that, he was in the ministerial side, administrative side. But he also explained that while in Delhi, though he was in the ministerial service, he had to undergo the normal disciplines. So musket training was also there, shooting. So 4 people were selected for this, in which he was also there. On that particular day fixed for this, somehow he developed some ailment, stomachache or something like that. He couldn't attend. 3 of the people attended and 3 of the people died on the spot. So again he said he was spared. And then, as he was working in Bangladesh, Dhaka, and later on in Burma, these thoughts started harassing him. And he was passing through terrible depression period. So he got a leave from his office, then came to Chennai, where his eldest brother was working. He told him, you take up Vishnu Sahasranam with all faith and devotion. That will give you some relief. So from that day onward, that was the first, he said, hint he got. So he started chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. There was some relief, then he joined back the service. Again he was passing through. At that time, one of his colleagues made a mention about Papa. That one saint there was no Kerala then, one saint in South India, he said, there is no disorder in the world. Everything is as it should be. You have left the meeting.
Yes, Swami.
Oh, let the meeting.
Yes, we want to leave because this auto admit is there. We don't have to do. Yes, Swami. We can continue. Swami, we can continue.
So, Swamiji in the herd, Swamiji told him, Swamiji said, he felt only 2 people in the world can make such a statement. One, he should be a madman. Another, he should be talking from a different level, higher level. Because especially when you are in the war field, you see atrocities going on. So how can a person say that there is no disorder in the world? But later on, at that time it did not strike to us even when Swamiji shared. Later on we came to know that suppose we go to the rooftop or the mountain top, we will not see anything bad. All that is positive, that only we will see. Beautiful, 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 we will say. So similarly, Papa could say from that height that everything is as it should be. Anyway, this was what he heard from the colleague. And later on, when the war ended, because his service record was perfect, the boss asked him, where do you want to get posted? You can tell. Choice is yours. He said, you discharge me. Then he got discharged and went to Palghat village. He said he did not know what to do. And then early morning, he said on those days he used to go to the temple tank, have his bath. And then in top voice he cannot sing, but he in his own way, he was singing to his heart's content, shlokas, hymns, bhajans. And most of the time he was spending in solitude. Again, this was harassing him. So if we remember right, he was told that there is a spiritual center in Coimbatore where, according to their belief, there is one person who is the medium. Anybody who asks questions on the spiritual journey, they will get the answer through him. And this person gets the message from one great saint, Rishi Ram, who dropped the body 2000 years ago. So Swamiji went there and gave this question you have to write. So after the trance he gave that you are suffering from spiritual dryness. So the question was asked, what should be done? So he gave 3 names. One is Swami Shivanji Maharaj, the other is Bhagavan Ramana, and third is Papa. So he wrote a letter explaining about the then condition. It so happened that he did not receive any reply from either Gurudev, Swami Shivanji Maharaj or Ramana Bhagavan. Probably the letter would not have reached them, because if it has reached, they would have immediately replied. But Papa got it and Papa immediately replied. And then he came here. His name was Anandashram at that time. So when he came here, Papa was sitting on the cement bench just above the Panchavadi, introduced himself, and then, if you remember right, this is the word he used. I am like a dry leaf tossed by the wind here and hither and there. I don't have any attraction for the common run of life, but at the same time I don't have any idea about the alternative. This is the trying period through which I am passing on. Don't push me to the usual worldly life. Lead me to the Paramarthik. Papa looked at him, smiled at him, and then said, take. From there itself, he initiated him with the holy Ram Nam. Swamiji said he expected Papa to say a few words about sadhana or something like that. But Papa did not utter anything. Then he asked, can I stay here? Then he said, not now. Ramdas will tell you later. Having come here, you can stay for a couple of days. So again Papa did not say anything. So he said, suppose I go back and I get doubts in my journey. If I write, will you answer? Papa said, no. Swamiji said, I was taken aback. He was so loving. Suddenly he said, no. Then Papa immediately patted on his back and told him, if you get doubt, take it that you have not chanted Ram Nam properly. Even at the time of hearing this and noting this, we were not able to understand what Papa really meant. Only later Papa revealed to us that only relying on the Guru within, with the help of Ram Nam, one will be able to clear all doubts, not from outside. Then later on, Swamiji went back, and then his sister fell ill, who was then in Hyderabad. So he had to go there. She was suffering from TB. So for 6 months he had to assist them because small children, husband is the only earning member who was working as a station master in Hyderabad. So he had to literally do everything, right from cooking and arranging everything for the children to go to the school, everything. 6 months. And then he came back. He said that made me to know about the hollowness of the present life still in a more clearer way. Then he joined his uncle in Wayanad. They had a joint property, coffee plantation, and his uncle was involved in various Gandhian movements. He was a great Gandhian. Gandhiji had visited Wayanad, and so he was the leading figure in the Gandhian movement in Wayanad area, and also he was deeply involved in cooperative movement. With the result, he had hardly any time to look after the plantation or developing it. So when he came to know that he came forward, okay, he was very, very happy, and it was going on. Even then, Swamiji also said he thought, to lead a life in an estate would be far, far better than any other urban or city life. Everything was going on. Again, he started feeling. Then he told the uncle he is leaving. Uncle pleaded with him, we will put up even a small thatched shed in the estate so that you don't have to come here. You can practice whatever you feel like. You can do whatever you like. But Swamiji was not for it. He again wrote to Papa, and Papa said, come. So that is why on the 26th January 1949, he came for good as Anandashram to estate, to ashram. After a few days, there were so many items of work pending. We don't remember whether Papa suggested or he himself volunteered, especially the Udyog accounts, so many things were to be straightened out. So he got involved in one after another, and 5-6 months passed. Suddenly one day he realized he has not come here to do all these things. So he went to Papa and said, I have not come here to do this. I would like to lead a contemplative life. Papa immediately said, yes, okay, very good. Then you go to Rishikesh, adopt sannyas, stay separately, carry on with your sadhana. Never join any organization. You take sannyas. Ramdas will give you clothes and name. He said, I had no idea about sannyas, but it was suggested by Papa. And then he left for Rishikesh as Anandashram. Probably with the help of Swami Chidanji Maharaj, some accommodation was found in a place called Ramnagar, where some sadhakas were practicing. So he also joined them. It was very near to Ganga Mai. According to what we infer, this must have happened sometime in May end of 1950. After going there, he took to, as instructed by Papa, he took to the order of sannyas and wrote a letter. That letter we don't have, but Papa's reply, we were able to get it. It's a very inspiring letter. And sadhakas like us would definitely get benefited by it. So Papa replied to him on the 11th July 1950. Beloved Ram, Ramdas got your loving letter of the 3rd instant, 3rd July. So he must have taken sannyas by June end. We were looking forward to it. Glad that you have taken the new name Sachidananda and assumed sannyas. You know now that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Feel conscious of this every moment. This thought itself will help you in realizing the goal. Of course, our hearty blessings are with you for your attainment of self-illumination. Do sadhana in a disciplined manner. Be regular in your early morning meditations. Avoid tamasic influences, either from within or without. Do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may appear to be. Concentrate on the sadhana. Occasionally go and have darshan of Swami Shivanandaji. His company, even for a short while, will be a source of inspiration to you. Keep before you the central truth that God dwells within you and that you are His manifestation. Let your mind always dwell on Him. Let Ram Nam ring on your lips whenever you are not doing any meditation or reading. You may reduce reading to the minimum. Learn by heart stotras that elevate your mind. Be free and cheerful like a bird and feel assured that the divine is at your back and you are sure to reach the goal. Love and blessings, Ramdas. Every now and then we sadhakas have to go through this, Ramdas got your loving letter of 3rd instant. We were looking forward, glad that you have taken the new name Sachidananda and assumed sannyas. You now know that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Feel conscious of this every moment. Conscious of what? That your life is entirely dedicated to God. This thought itself will help you in realizing the goal. Of course, our hearty blessings are with you for your attainment of self-illumination. Do sadhana in a disciplined manner. Be regular in your early morning meditations. Avoid tamasic influences, either from within or without. Do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may appear to be. Concentrate on the sadhana. occasionally and go and have darshan of Sri Swami Shivananji. His company, even for a short while, will be a source of inspiration to you. Keep before you the central truth that God dwells within you and that you are His manifestation. Let your mind always dwell on Him. Let Ram Nam ring on your lips whenever you are not doing any meditation or reading. You may reduce reading to the minimum. Learn by heart stotras that elevate your mind. Be free and cheerful like a bird, and feel assured that the divine is at your back, and you are sure to reach the goal. Love and blessings, Ramdas. So then, if we remember right, 8 or 9 months went on like that in Rishikesh. One day he said he had a flash in the night, seeing Papa's figure. Next day he received a telegram from Papa stating that Ramdas and Krishnabai are going on a tour. This time he is not taking anybody except you if you are willing. So Swamiji immediately sent a wire stating that he is joining. So Swamiji joined them after collecting the information at Bangalore. And then Papa Mataji, they were on a tour for 2-3 months away from ashram. Swamiji accompanied them throughout. And as usual, apart from secretarial work, Swamiji was also attending to all personal work and assisting Mataji also in cooking and arranging for everything. So when they came back to ashram, Swamiji thought that it would be better for him again to go back to Rishikesh. So he asked Papa. Papa said, where is? You can go. So then Swamiji said he was in a dilemma, who will do the work which he was doing? So Papa said, don't worry, somebody will do it. And at that time, somebody who had come from the Gulf country, he said he would do it. Typewriting, shorthand, everything. Okay. So everything was fixed. Swamiji was to go on the next day. You know, on those days to go to Rishikesh means from here they have to catch the Madras mail and go to Madras, and from Madras GT to Delhi, and from GT to Delhi to Rishikesh, and Rishikesh to Haridwar. On the day previous, when Swamiji was supposed to go on tomorrow, today night, the telegram came for the other friend who was promised to help him, that his mother was seriously sick and he had to rush. So Swamiji said, again the dilemma came, what to do now? So he went to Papa. Papa said, don't worry, that you go, carry on with your program. And Mataji came to know about this. So Mataji took him into task. Why do you have to go when your Guru is here? Then he said, I asked permission from the Guru only, you know. These things you should not ask. Suppose Papa asks you to get married, will you get married? Suddenly, Swamiji said, he started thinking. Immediately, the prompting came that he would not go. He went to Papa. Papa, I am not going. Okay. That is how Swamiji started staying here. And he served Papa for 14 years, served Mataji for 40 years. And rest of the things all of us know. How we started feeling Papa Mataji in him. And how he inspired without teaching. He inspired all of us without teaching. He taught us without teaching. His very life was an open book for all of us to read, to learn. though we are nowhere near still it's a source of perennial inspiration for all of us. I think that much we will do for rest of the things, we have to do it by ourselves. Because self-effacement, we have to learn from him. Humbleness, we have to learn from him. Ready to serve attitude, we have to learn from him. Do everything in perfect order, we have to learn from him. Quality, care and concern for others, we have to learn from him. So all these things, we can keep on listing it, but it will be only an academic exercise. The rest of the things we have to practice in our life. So we pray to him now, who is in the form of remembrance in our heart, to bless us with the needed, wherewithal to live up to what is expected of us. And this letter addressed by Papa to him is also a source of inspiration for all of us. So that means those of us who feel that we are doing some seva in the ashram, now we know that we have not been able to progress fast because our dedication is not full and complete. We are not very clear about the goal to be achieved. Though God has facilitated us to be in a wonderful, beautiful ambience like ashram, and even visiting devotees, we are yet to really make use of the facilities given to us for our spiritual progress. So when we keep on thinking about the biographical sketch of Param Puja Papa, Param Puja Mataji and Param Puja Swamiji, then only we come to know. Yesterday we were telling, we were reading out from the hints, introspection and direct examination of our own heart. That will reveal to us. Our mind may be telling so many things, that we are leading a spiritual life. Maybe we may be leading a value-based life, we may be leading a righteous life, we don't wound anybody, we don't take away anything from anybody, we try to be helpful to the extent possible. All those things may be there, but it is nowhere near the goal. Those are all the preparatory measures, that's all. Ultimately, the life of our masters, they make us understand that unless and until we try to go within, unless and until we try to become aware of the goal to be attained in clear-cut terms, that he is within, he is within, he is within, and not to be carried away by any other external factors, then only we are moving towards him. Otherwise, no. Even if we have spent, we know that there are many who are 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, we have been closely associating with Anandashram. We have greatest regard for Papa Mataji and Swamiji. We have the greatest faith for our holy and all-powerful Ramnam. But still, have we, when anything slightly happens, are we dealing it at the me and mine level or at a higher level? Are we trying to raise ourselves to a higher level? We cannot change the world, but we have to change ourselves. This is the message Papa gives us, We always think of changing others or changing the situation, changing the people, because our rights and wrongs, we want it to be established, asserted. We never think about that. Like us, everybody has got their own right to form their opinion. They have got their own preferences and priorities. But we insist our priorities on everybody, unknowingly. Not with any bad intention, but it is not going to help us in any way. They are all at the superficial level only. When we are going through the in-depth study of In Quest of God, what do we find? What are all the challenges Papa had to meet with and how he was able to meet with them successfully? And then we go to Puja Mataji's. And then Swamiji's. we find that their effort was to raise themselves from the present level. And they succeeded. We were satisfied with certain things. So today if somebody asked us to repeat something about Swamiji, it is not for gathering some informations. It is for stimulating or what you call triggering our sadhana, a move towards him. Because they are the source of inspiration. Their life is a textbook for us to learn. Any page, that means any part of their life, is a source of inspiration for us. Many, many things are there for us to learn. We were just complimenting, as if Mataji used to take us, as if we are sitting here to take your appreciation. No. Papa, you are this, Papa, you are that, or Mataji, you are this, Mataji, you are that, Swamiji, you are this, you are that. All these things we say, so what? Where are we now? Are we trying to actualize some of the traits that have imprinted in our mind, that had its own impact in our mind? The moment we think about Papa, the moment we think about Mataji, and the moment we think about Swamiji, what comes to our mind? It is not their form. It is the values. It is their sadhana. It is their attainment that comes and stands before us. So internally we connect ourselves with their attainments, but somehow it is relegated and we are unable to pursue. And we still live at the me and mind level. So let us all try all these exercises. Every exercise is motivated by him only for our own improvement. So we should not lose sight of this. That particular word in that, every moment we should know that our life is consecrated to him, who is behind our body-mind-intellect complex, who has facilitated us everything, who is the great provider providing to us till this moment. So this we have to keep on thinking, hammering. Otherwise, this exercise also will become academic exercise. We would have stored all these things in our mind. So what? Okay, anything else?
What Sajjata Swamiji was telling Swamiji?
What did Sajjata Swamiji told? Jayanti
To be very frank with you, the voice was not very audible, so somebody has recorded it. We have to go through it. He was making a mention about one particular sloga in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter. Anapeksha, Shuchirdaksha, Udasino, Gatavyada, Sarvaramba Parityagi, Yomad Bhakta Samepriya. We have some problem with hearing, you all know that. And with that, the voice was so low, we were not able to hear properly. But the recording has been done. We will go through that and we will share with you.
Vivekanandji, something you are asking?
Swami, how did you come to contact with Ashram Swamiji? How you yourself?
How did you come?
Swamiji, exactly the same question came to my mind.
How did you come to
They
us?
both got the same question, it seems, Swamiji.
Same question, Swamiji.
Strange, strange.
I dare not open the mouth.
Because I'm afraid, but just boldly asking it.
It so happened that when we were employed in Chennai in early 60s, we had the good fortune of attending Puja Swami Chinmayanandaji's lectures. And in 63, in 1963, sometime during August or September, we don't exactly remember, Swamiji made, it was Chinmaya Mission's 10th year celebrations. So at that time, he made a moving reference. I think that also we have later on. At that time we have heard it, but later on he facilitated us to have this speech, a tribute from Swami Chinmayanandaji soon after the two Mahasamadhis in July 1963. Swami Chinmayanandaji said, "We are assembling here for the 10th anniversary celebration of the Chinmaya mission under a very sad shadow. Under the shadow of the demise of two mighty missionaries of this country. We are left alone like orphans. Swami Shivananda, who was working very hard, who made a mark in this era, is no more. So was Swami Ramdas of Kanhangad, who had indeed made a temple of sadhana in his own ashram. They are no more with us. In this sad, gloomy darkness in the spiritual kingdom of the country, when we look around, we are almost left alone without anyone to lead us to light." It was a very touching speech. They are not doing it in the sense of missionary work. In our own times, Shivananda and Ramdas did such mighty work. We do not find now any institution wherein seekers can get personal or individual attention. In this condition, it is all the more incumbent upon us to stand together, and in our total strength, we come to a certain strength which these mighty masters themselves could individually give to the country. So this was, previously we have heard about the ashram, but mind was preoccupied with so many things. But as soon as we heard this, somehow the prompting came that we should visit the ashram. 63 we couldn't get any leave, so in 64 we came here. And we could meet Puja Mataji, and that was the beginning. Now we understand for anything and everything there should be an instrumental cause, that's all. It is all the play of him, but there should be some instrumental cause for knitting together.
Swamiji, Papa had come to Chennai and for some congregation and you met him?
No.
Maybe your father.
Father met in Calicut. When we go deeper into Papa's teachings, we never feel that we miss him. Because the ideal, there is an article called Ideal and the Person in Divine Life. We are attracted to a person not because of the person, but because of the ideal represented by that person. So the more we identify ourselves with the ideal, naturally we identify with the person also. It is not the other way. So at no time we felt Papa is away from us. So the more we plunge deep into his and enjoy the sweetness, the more we come to know that he is there in the form of remembrance in our heart. That is enough. And the guidance also he gives. So what is essentially needed is an in-depth study, Mananam, 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 mananam. There is no other shortcut. If we take one text, we have to go deep into it. Not that the whole text will be in your mind, but what is essential for you as willed by God, that will remain with you. And it will keep on guiding you. So, we have to keep on doing this mananam, not at the superficial plane. We have been reading this many a times, but still, through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. So superficial reading will not help us. We have to go deep within. Deepen and broaden our understanding. We cannot be simply contented that by mere vocal chanting, doing bhajan, attending satsang, it will not take the journey much further or farther. Because it is all necessary, preparatory stage. But we have to go beyond that now. Keeping all our preconceived notions, all our, so long as the mind retains its usual characteristics of likes and dislikes, rights and wrongs, preferences and priorities, cravings, desires, possessiveness, and the other pairs of opposites, we will never be free from its clutches, causing restless and tense life. So this outwardly we may be leading, but only one will know, whether I have been able to get over this. A slight discomfort, any disturbance on the comfort zone, we want to get out of it, but we are unable to. So deep, especially when we try to live with Papa during his itinerant life, when we try to live with Papa in the Kanhangad life, when we try to live with Papa in the early stages of Anandashram, then we will not ask anything. When we try to live with Mataji in Kanhangad ashram as well as in the early days of Anandashram, we will not utter anything, we will not demand anything. Because we are enjoying, so many things, but they were passing through a life where all these things were not there. Still they were blissful. Somebody was asking yesterday, when was this veranda of a bhajan hall built? Then we said, forget about it. Papa was sleeping in the inside room. That was the only room with a door. Rest of the things are open. There was no veranda. The arch is there, as we enter. So even if there is during the rain seasons, water will flow. There was only single room, and one room in the present Shanti
Nivas. Shanti Nivas.
Shanti Nivas, one room for Mataji. Just imagine. A dry latrine was somewhere near our Goshala. And Swamiji was sharing with us that Mataji used to tell him that every day morning, Papa was very weak in body, when he came here from Kanhangad ashram. Very weak. You can see from the photo. So, early morning, we don't know whether it was the well behind the Srinivas or very near to the present, opposite to the Narsimha building. That was the first, either of them was the first well. From there, Mataji used to draw the water and go to the present site of Goshala, clean the dry latrine there, and in a bucket fill the water, then come here, then somehow escort Papa there, and then Papa, after he finishes, again she cleans everything and slowly bring him back all the way to the... This was the life. And later on there was another dry latrine that was put up behind our Gokul, behind Shantinivas. Even now it is there. And Papa was not complaining anything. Then after the foreign tour, Mataji decided it is too much and then prevailed upon Papa to say yes for the attached bathroom. So you can just imagine, till 1954, Papa was not having this facility. That means 70 years. Papa must have been 65 to 70 years, just imagine. And so, same thing applies to Mataji also, no?
That's a comfort zone.
Huh?
That's a comfort zone.
No, it is not for just learning, no. We are trying to understand whether we are in a position to adapt to any new situations. or whether we are accepting everything as they are.
Sure.
Of course, days have changed, agreed. Body is prone to certain things, agreed. But still there should be I should at least feel,
Yes.
I shouldn't have, I don't want. We will not blame the present generation because they have not seen. But those of us who had the privilege of knowing about all these things, and to some extent those who have undergone life like this, hard life, they will know the zero demand, zero craving for a comfort life. What a simple life they were leading. Even up to 70 years, if Papa was leading such a simple life, so we always dwell on it, not the person, the life they lived. So kindly enable me to adjust with any environment you place me. This should be our prayer, no? So whenever we do Ram Nam, something like that, we are not today when Swamiji was mentioning about anapeksha, that means not depending upon anybody, not because of arrogance, but because of contentment, Not asking for anything, contented. So how can it come? In 12th chapter he lists about the qualities of a bhakta. Adveshta sarvabhutanam, it starts. And later on this sloka comes. Anapeksha, shuchi, daksha, udasino, gatavyada, sarvaramba parityagi, yomad bhakta samepriya. So we read, okay, then we try to look at ourselves. Introspection and a direct examination of our own heart. What am I doing? Then only the purpose of reading that it serves the purpose. Day after tomorrow is the Gita day, Gita Jayanti day. To us it is also a program, that's all. But actually it is a reminder to us as sadhakas. We cannot go through the 701 slokas. At least one sloka you make us to actualize in our life. In the Prarthana, what do you call that? Jnana slokas. You will find in the end. Oh Mother. Gita is addressed as Mother. Kindly relieve me, kindly enlighten me. So with that only the Gita reading starts. Partaya Pratibodhidam, it starts, The last one, Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marudaha Stunvandi Divyi Stavehi Vedai Sangha Padakramo Vanishad Gayandiyam Samakaha Dhyanavastita Tagdadena Manasa Pashyandiyam Yogino Yasyandam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Then in between there is Sarvo Panishado Gavo, somewhere it comes. Somewhere it is addressed as Mother. Bhagavadim Dhyan. First sloka. Partaya Pratibodhidam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gradidam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrudavarshinim Bhagavadim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusantatami Bhagavad Gita. So the important thing is, it is an appeal to her. Appeal to her to somehow make me understand. And then so that the life gets enlightened. The life gets illumined. So probably that is why the prompting came to Swamiji to share something about the 12th chapter. So day after tomorrow is Saturday, no? Saturday. That is the Gita Jayanti day. On that day, Papa willing, we will try to share something about what Papa talks about, what various Mahatmas talks about Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om For Gita Jayanti, there will be a session here also. Morning, only a morning. Initially, the proposal came that we will have this throughout chanting. So somehow it struck to us that to cover the 701 in one breath, it is not going to serve any purpose, excepting the sentimental satisfaction that we have completed. So it was decided, after consulting with the participants, that we will take up, we split the whole slogas on an average 100 to 130 slogas one day in a month. First Sunday of the next 5 months, we will go through that, and then first we will chant, then we will go through the meaning, and then if any of the participants feel like dwelling on any sloga, okay, but 1 month they have got the time and to do the manana, and the next month when they come, first some feedback, a few slogas. Out of these 100 odd slogas, at least a few slogas connected with our very life, that will be dwelt upon. Like that, every month, this will go on, so that by the end of the 5th month or 6th month, when we complete technically the 701 slogas, we would have gone nearer to some of the slogas more deeply. That will give us the incentive to plunge more and more deeper into it. That is enough. Because one sloga, if we remember, that itself will take us to the goal. That is more important. Not going through the entire.
Swamiji, whether Gita competition is being run there?
No competition.
This is
We are not competing with anybody.
in-depth study.
Only a study.
Not here, for students.
No.
In-depth study.
Gita
All those things the ashram had tried before. And we feel at the moment that in-depth study is necessary, so that we become a part, or Gita becomes a part of our life. Anyhow, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam. Namaskaram. Hari Om. Pranam.
Narayana. Pranam Swamiji.
Yes. You want the